but I don't think it's an excuse to do nothing.
Right, and I don't understand how doing nothing at all is going to get us out of further situations that we find problematic.
Okay. I'm saying you have to understand what motivates these terrorists, okay? And it's not just that they're religious fundamentalists, although they are. Pre-9/11, when Madeleine Albright was asked about the 500,000 children that died from starvation and malnutrition in Iraq due to the blockade under Clinton, she said that price was worth it. We have to start thinking about how we would feel if those were our children.
I don't disagree. This is both an economic problem, this is a political problem, this is a diplomacy.
I just gotta say that's a strong point to make, because you're making it at an emotional level right there. You know what I mean? And that's good because that reaches people. You know, yeah. I mean, I hope it reaches people, but yeah. I would think that it does when you're speaking from an emotional, kind of moralistic standpoint.
Well, let me just say that I have gotten an overwhelmingly positive response from this piece online. Yeah. So I do think I was able to reach some people with it. And I even got out of SC, the concession at the beginning, and then that she doesn't disagree with me at the end, although I don't actually think I've changed her mind on anything. I'll keep trying. But yeah, look, that's the point to me that you really have to hammer home. And I really don't understand how anyone can listen to that point and not go, yeah, you're right. I mean, if hundreds of thousands of children are dying, and we're not talking about dying a peaceful death. We're talking about dying from malnutrition, dying from starvation, dying from not getting the basic medical needs that they need, which could easily be covered, which could easily be taken care of. And you're not going to say, oh, yeah, as a human being, I can get that. Then we have a real fucking problem. Then we have a real problem. And then, and of course, this is, why we will continue to deal with this stuff. Let me just say this, okay? Because I get this, the response that I get the most, I guess, out of the right wing from, and even a lot of our listeners, man, a lot of our listeners don't agree with me on this. And I just find it still so shocking to this day because it's such a slam dunk of a case, using neocon language. It's so obvious. And so still, okay, so I understand being an anti-left-wing reactionary. Believe me, if you've been listening to the show over the last year and a half, I've got a little bit of it in me myself. I've had a little bit too much of it in me, probably. So I get it. I get where the left wing are like cultural relativists and everybody's the same and every culture is the same and all values are, like nothing's better than the other. And that's complete bullshit. And it's ridiculous. Some cultures are superior to other cultures. Obviously, the commies and the Nazis were bad cultures. They suck. It's not like, oh, well, England was pretty bad too. No. They were far, far worse. And I will throw my lot in with, I hate to sound like a Republican, but I really do think the Judeo-Christian tradition, look, as people who love freedom and are not moral relativists, we think freedom is moral and tyranny is immoral. I acknowledge that there has been more freedom given to people in Western civilization than anywhere else in the world, and I like that. And I would like to export that around the world, just not through the force of an army. But yes, I like that, okay? And third world cultures kind of tend to suck. And theocracy, bad. Secularism, good. Okay? I'm not one of these people. I'll even go as far as to grant you, I don't actually know if this is true, but perhaps there is something inherent about Islam that has this kind of, like problem. I don't know, however you want to say it. It's like a violent religion, or it's kill the infidels is in the books. Okay? So, fine. Let's say, as Essie did to me, I grant you that. You still can't run away from my fucking point, okay? So, here, I'll grant you all that shit about being a Western chauvinist and our culture being better and yada, 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 all that shit. Yeah, Islam sucks, okay? Let's say all of that is correct, right? Now play my game. What would we do? What would you do? Listen, think about all the hatred that there is against Donald Trump right now, who won an election, okay? Now, but he won an election by a close margin, and there's rumors based off complete bullshit that Russia interfered and there was collusion and all of this. And look at the hatred people have against Trump. Okay, the left wing is a bunch of pussies, so this example isn't going to work so well. Let's use Obama. Okay? How much did the right hate Obama?
Yeah.
There were rumors of him being a foreigner, even though he wasn't at all. But he's got a name like a foreigner. And, like maybe he's a Muslim. Right. Like all these, like, they're okay. And now you have these militias who are going out and marching and saying like, if Obama takes away our constitutional rights, blah 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 blah. Okay, right? And by the way, I didn't like Obama taking away constitutional rights or anything like that. But so let's play this out. Play this thought experiment with me, okay? So let's say Trump wins, okay? Obama's never been president, right? This is an alternate universe. Obama's never been president.
Bush, Trump.
That's right. Goes right to Donald Trump. And Donald Trump wins. And all the people, all those tough right-wing guys, these barrel-chest tough motherfuckers who love Donald Trump, they're out there and it's like, lock her up and build that wall. And they get their guy. We're taking our government back. We're going to make America great again. And we get Donald Trump in there. And then the Russians come in and overthrow Donald Trump and prop up Barack Hussein Obama. And Barack Hussein Obama is an imaginary outsider. He's not an imaginary Muslim. He's actually an outsider who is propped up by a foreign government. And he doesn't start doing the Obama thing. He's actually a brutal dictator. A brutal, brutal dictator who doesn't allow dissenting opinions. Mm-hmm. How long before our right-wing militias become those fucking terrorists? I give it a week.
Yeah.
I give it a fucking week. How long? And you know what they're going to be saying? In the name of Jesus. They're going to be yelling some religious shit before they throw a fucking Molotov cocktail in there. And this is nothing. It has nothing to do with the fucking religion, man. This isn't about Islam. As Pat Buchanan said, terrorism is the price of empire.
Right, exactly.
It always has been. Those fucking Irish who were doing the same thing to the British, they weren't fucking Islamists.
Right.
Okay? It didn't matter. They didn't need to be.
It's a common cause that we can get behind, though. When we feel if we're being invaded. This is our space is being taken over.
Okay, right.
So we can join up and we can say, in the name of Jesus.
That's right. Now add all this fucking shit in, okay? Seriously. Play this thought experiment out with me. Foreign dictator, overthrown an elective leader, now put in there's a blockade and your fucking kids are starving. Starving to death in front of you. What do you think these tough motherfuckers are gonna do, man? Okay, so I granted you all the shit I granted, right? So now what's gonna happen when we do it to the fucked up culture?
Right.
Right? Because our culture's so much better than them and we'd become the exact same fucking thing. By the way, the Jews, they were the terrorists, man. Go look at when the British were in control of Palestine. You know what the Jews did? They started blowing up government buildings and targeting civilians. You know about this shit, right, Rob?
And
they were the fucking terrorists, man.
And then maybe some of those Christians in Syria will be have sympathy for our cause in America.
Oh, look at that.
And then they got radicalized, and then there's stuff happening over there.
So if you're gonna say their fucking their culture is so fucked up, so then they're going to be even worse than us with it, okay? So they're even more religious fundamentalists than we are, right? So leave them the fuck alone, you goddamn maniacs. Come on, man.
Cut it, print it, send it to the White House.
I mean, I just how people don't see this is beyond me. And how you're willing to ignore this and just go, "Oh no, it's just that they're religious fundamentalists. It's just the nature of Islam."
Right.
Goddamn. And then people will build a real fancy narrative all around that. They've been imperialists since the 20s, since the 12th century, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, guys, lots of people were fucked up in the 13th century, okay? We're not going back there for any type of values. Here's the truth, right? I don't know. I don't know if the third world will ever get their shit together, okay? I don't know if they'll ever get their shit together and be what we think, what we value in Western civilization and what me and you and Rob value in terms of like natural rights and free markets and all this shit. I don't know. I don't see it being embraced anytime soon. But if you actually want to go down this path and you want to actually learn shit and like what's happened in modern history, not ancient history, but in modern history, okay? Every time that they start to claw their way out of it, we smash them back down. Go look at what Afghanistan was like in the 70s, Iraq in the 70s, all these places. Every time, you see fucking women wearing miniskirts, man. And every time we do that, we smash them back down. Smash them back down. We do everything to keep that fucked up culture as fucked up as it can possibly be. And one more point that I'll make, because I didn't get a chance to make this on Essie's show, okay? One more point. If you're gonna make this fucking argument that it's the religion and they're just such fucking maniacs and there's nothing we can do with these Sunni, there's terrorism is a problem. Stop arming the Saudis. Stop arming the fucking Saudis, man. They're the number one exporters of Wahhabism, and Donald Trump just went and dropped $100 billion worth of weapons over to them. And all these fucking people on this panel, no one said a fucking peep about it.
Right.
No one's got to complain about that. We know where these weapons are going to end up.
There's that camera behind you.
So, getting a little worked
No,
up
you're right, though, and all good points, and I 100% agree. And I think it's just, look, man, some people see this way, and some people will just never see it this way because it's a conflict of visions, Thomas Sowell, conflict of visions.